I'm Sam Savage. Today I'm going to talk about connecting uncertain data to decisions. By uncertain data, we mean historical records, the results of Monte Carlo simulations, forecasts, AI, and other sources. And we're going to get this to decision makers through what I call the language of chance. I've developed a package called ChanceCalc that does this with just a few keystrokes. So where do we really need the language of chance? We need it for talking back to the flaw of averages. Here's a classic example. We're going to make a decision for how big to build a factory based on the average demand of our product, right? And since the average is 100,000 units, we'll build a capacity of 100,000. Now the boss comes in and says, what's profit going to be? And you say, I don't know, boss. I don't know what demand's going to be. The average is 100,000, but hey. And the boss says, give me a number. And you say, well, look, we all agree 100,000 is the average demand, so we'll build a capacity of 100,000, and then that results in a profit of $1 million. So that's what we should expect. But you got to cut me a little slack because demand is uncertain. It's easy to see that $1 million is a very unrealistic number to expect. The way to look at it is this. Suppose demand were only 80,000. Well, then your profit's only 200,000. And now you say, yeah, but if demand were 120,000, we'd make it up on the upside, right? Wrong. You built a capacity of 100,000. So $1 million is your maximum, not your average. Here, it all appears in this one formula. What are your sales? Well, it's the minimum of the actual demand or the capacity. So this is a classic case of what I call the flaw of averages. We're going to show how to use ChanceCalc and the language of chance to address the chance that you have a profit of $1 million. But let me give you some other poster children of the flaw of averages. Classic one is the statistician who drowns in the river that is on average 3 feet deep. And if that's not enough for you, here's a sobering example. Consider a drunk wandering back and forth along a busy highway. His average position is the center line. That means that at his average position, the drunk is alive. Yeah, but on average, he's dead. That's not close enough even for government work. Now you say, I learned all about the language of chance in my statistics course. Better be careful with that. You probably used the word probability distribution, right? Let's talk about that. I have a new definition for probability distribution. It's now a 9-syllable term that triggers post-traumatic statistics disorder, or PTSD. That's what most people got from their statistics class. You just need the one word chance. You know, a cumulative distribution is just a graph of the chance that the number you're interested in is less than any other number. Now, the chance age is really characterized by a famous old accounting joke. Enron, the defunct energy company, is hiring a new accountant. And the candidates are lined up here, and the guy from Enron says, what's 2 plus 2? So the first candidate says 4. The second one thinks it's a trick question. 5? But the one who gets the job says, what do you want it to be? So here's how to have a chance-informed conversation with your boss in the chance age. When the boss says, give me a number, you say, what do you want it to be? Here are your chances. Now I'm going to show how to use ChanceCalc to communicate with the boss in the language of chance. The first thing I'm going to do is go out to the web, and here's some data files from our tutorial, the ChanceCalc tutorial. And in particular, there's a product demand library. So this is